Shalom, brothers and sisters. Now, one of my favorite characters in the Bible, and I actually started writing a book about him many years ago. I've still got all my notes and manuscripts together, and I was really researching him, is Moses. Minios, Moshe. It's such an amazing, amazing history, and he was such an incredible person. And there's so much etched into the history of man about him that people don't even know about. But I digress. What I want to share with you today is from Numbers chapter 12. Now, it's an interesting incident here, and it also teaches us various things. And the main thing I want to point out here is the power of prayer. So, Miriam and Aaron are rising up and speaking against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he had married. Now, the Ethiopians, if you ever get a chance to go to Israel, or if you've been to Israel, you might bump into some Ethiopian Jews. Absolutely beautiful people. They stand out in a crowd like night and day. You spot them immediately. So yes, this would have been a big shock to Moses' brother and sister that he had married an Ethiopian dark-skinned woman, and they were grumbling against him. But this is human nature. I want to be the one in power. I also want acclaim and fame. I also want to be seen as the prophet or the instrument of God, not just him, me too. And that is the flesh, not the spirit. Because when you're moving in the spirit, you're saying, Lord, I'm here, hineni, use me, or use him, or use her, or use this rock, but let your name be glorified. Let your kingdom come. It's about him, not about me. For me, a sign of success is you go in, you minister, incredible move of the Holy Spirit, lives are changed, you leave and they say, what was that guy's name again when he was here ministering? Gone. Because it wasn't about that guy, it was about Jesus. And that's the heart we should have, always. It's about Jesus. So let's read Numbers chapter 12. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. So that's the root. For he had married an Ethiopian woman, Zipporah. So they said, has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. Wow! What a statement to have made about a human being. More than any other human being on earth, no one was more humble than Moses. And while we grumble and talk and think we're doing things where no one can hear, God hears all. Verse 4. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, come out, you three, to the tabernacle of meeting. So the three came out. Then the Lord came down in the pillar of cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both went forward. Then he said, now I want you to imagine the power of that situation, the raw presence of God in this pillar of cloud, and he's calling you forward. Oh my word, the power in that moment. God says, hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, make myself known to him in a vision. I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. I speak with him face to face, even plainly, and not in dark sayings. And he sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the anger of the Lord was aroused against them, and he departed. And when the cloud departed from above the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned towards Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, please do not lay this sin on us, in which we have done foolishly, and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead, whose flesh is half consumed when he comes out of his mother's womb. So they've acknowledged their sin and their transgressions, and they're begging him to please intercede on their behalf and fix this problem that is now upon them. So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, please heal her, O God, I pray. Moses, the man who God says he speaks plainly to, there's no one as faithful in all his house as this man. He speaks to him face to face. He is above all the other men. He has seen the form of God. And his great and powerful prayer, O God, please heal her. Sometimes we complicate things when we say, you've got to do this, and you've got to pray that way, and you've got to face in this direction, or you've got to kneel down, or you've got to prostrate yourself, and you've got to this, that, and that, and you've got to approach like this, and you've first got to begin with this, and then you've got to move into that, and then you've got to move into that. Sometimes you just need relationship, true, earnest, humble heart before the Lord your God, and you speak from heart to heart, face to face, and you can pray something as simple as, oh God, please heal this person. The end. I go to hospitals regularly and I pray for the sick, and I'm there when other people are praying for them, and especially here in this country, some people feel the louder they pray, the more God can hear, as if he has a hearing problem. Or the longer the words, or the bigger the word, and more intelligent sounding the word, the more incredible the reach will be to God to move him. Oh wow, the vocabulary of this child, I'm going to act on his request. No, that's not what it's about. You should have faith in God, and you should be able to just pray, please heal her. And God answers him and has her put outside the camp for 7 days. Go and think about what you've done. Time out. And when she comes back, she's healed. Sometimes it's a simple, small prayer. In South Africa, in Afrikaans, my wife's got a saying. It's called a skietgebedjie, a prayer that shot up. And a lot of times people don't add a lot of value to a skietgebed, that shooting prayer. In the moment, you pray quickly, just a few words like Moses does here. Please heal her, God, I pray. That's a skietgebed, a sudden, quick prayer. But there's power in those prayers because it comes from the heart. There's no posturing. There's no trying to prove yourself. There's no trying to sound wise and special or powerful in the moment. You're not speaking to a crowd. You're communicating with the only one who can make a difference in that situation. The only one who is able to save. That's who you're talking to. And you don't need the long, special words and approaches. You can just talk to your Father in heaven. Make your requests known to him. Be humble like Moses. Know him face to face, like a man knows his friend. And at the same time, fear him, reverence him, awe in the knowledge of who God is. And he is there to hear everything and see everything about our lives every day. So don't be afraid to approach the throne of mercy and grace. Speak to God, always, all the time, even those skietgebedjies. Small, quick prayers. It's about communication. and trusting in the one and only one we can truly trust. Shalom.